Rapunzel.
Deep within a hidden valley stood a tower that touched the clouds. High above the forest floor, a young girl named Rapunzel spent her days painting the walls with dreams of the outside world. She had never stepped foot on the grass, but every year on her birthday, she watched mysterious golden lights float across the distant night sky. The only person Rapunzel knew was Mother Gothel, a woman who claimed the world outside was far too dangerous for a girl with hair like spun gold. Gothel used the girl's magic hair to stay young, keeping her locked away under the guise of protection. But the walls of the tower were becoming too small for Rapunzel's growing heart. Everything changed the day a charming thief named Flynn stumbled upon the hidden valley. He was running from the palace guards, desperate for a place to hide. When he saw the tower standing alone in the clearing, he thought he had found the perfect sanctuary. Little did he know, he was about to crash into a much bigger adventure. Flynn's grand escape didn't go exactly as planned. Instead of an empty hideout, he found a girl who was much tougher than she looked. Panicked by the arrival of a stranger, Rapunzel used the only weapon she had, a heavy iron frying pan. After a quick clonk to the head, the mysterious intruder was safely tucked away in a closet. When Flynn woke up, he found himself tied up in yards of glowing blonde hair. Rapunzel made him a deal. She had found the crown he stole and hid it. If he agreed to take her to see the floating lights that appeared on her birthday, she would give it back. Flynn, having no other choice, agreed to the bargain. For the first time in 18 years, Rapunzel's feet touched the earth. The grass felt soft and cool, and the air smelled like pine and wildflowers. She was overwhelmed by a mixture of pure joy and terrifying guilt. One moment she was dancing in the clearing, and the next she was sobbing, convinced she was a horrible daughter for leaving. Flynn tried his best to scare Rapunzel back to her tower, telling her stories of the terrifying thugs that lived in the woods. But as they walked, he realized she wasn't easily frightened. Every flower and every butterfly was a miracle to her. Her wonder was contagious, and slowly, Flynn found himself forgetting about the crown and simply enjoying the walk. The journey wasn't all flowers and songs. Maximus, the relentless palace horse, was hot on Flynn's trail. He could sniff out a thief from a mile away. When Max finally tracked them down, he didn't see a dangerous criminal. He saw a girl who treated him with kindness. Rapunzel managed to calm the stubborn horse with a few gentle words and a snack. Back at the tower, Mother Gothel had discovered the truth. Her bird had flown the coop. Finding the crown hidden under a floorboard, she realized Rapunzel hadn't just left, she had been helped. Gothel's maternal act vanished, replaced by a cold, sharp determination. She wouldn't let her source of eternal youth slip away so easily. The hunt had begun. As the stars began to peek through the trees, the two shared a quiet moment by the fire. Flynn finally dropped his mask of a cool, confident thief and told Rapunzel his real name, Julian. He shared how he had grown up as an orphan, dreaming of being a hero from his favorite stories. For the first time, Rapunzel felt she wasn't the only one with secrets. The next morning, they reached the kingdom. It was a place of stone bridges, bustling markets, and flags waving in the breeze. Rapunzel was mesmerized by the colors and the music. The townspeople were kind, and for a few hours she felt like she truly belonged. She danced with children and explored every corner, her long hair carefully braided to keep it from the ground. As night fell, the moment Rapunzel had waited for her entire life finally arrived. Thousands of golden lanterns began to rise from the castle, floating gently into the air like warm, glowing stars. Floating in the middle of the lake, Rapunzel watched in silence. The world felt quiet, and the only thing that mattered was the light reflecting in Flynn's eyes. The magic of the lanterns was interrupted by the shadows of the past. Flynn spotted his old partners on the shore and realized he had to settle his debts to truly be free. He handed Rapunzel the crown, promising to return in just a few minutes, but as he walked into the mist, a trap set by Mother Gothel was already closing in around them. Minutes turned into an hour. When a boat finally emerged from the mist, Flynn wasn't in it. Instead, his old partners appeared, claiming he had abandoned her for the crown. Just as fear began to take hold, Mother Gothel appeared from the darkness, playing the role of the savior. She rescued Rapunzel, leading her back toward the only prison she had ever known. Back in the tower, the silence was deafening. But as Rapunzel looked at her murals, something clicked. The sun symbol of the kingdom was hidden in every single painting she had ever made. Flashbacks of a king and queen holding a golden-haired baby flooded her mind. She wasn't just a girl in a tower. She was the lost princess the lanterns were meant for. Rapunzel finally found her voice. She confronted Gothel, refusing to be a prisoner or a source of magic any longer. The realization of her true identity gave her a strength she never knew she possessed. But Gothel, realizing her control was slipping, dropped all pretenses. The tower, once a home, became a battleground of wills as the truth finally broke their bond. Flynn hadn't abandoned her. After escaping the palace guards with the help of Maximus, he raced back to the hidden valley. He didn't care about the crown or his reputation anymore. He only cared about the girl who had shown him the light. As he reached the window, he called out her name, unaware that a trap was waiting for him inside. In a desperate moment to save Flynn's life, Rapunzel promised to go with Gothel forever if she could only heal him. But Flynn wouldn't let her sacrifice her freedom. With his last bit of strength, he used a shard of glass to cut her golden hair. In an instant, the hair turned brown and the magic vanished, breaking Gothel's hold on youth and life forever. The magic was gone, and for a moment, the world felt cold and silent. Rapunzel wept, her tears falling onto Flynn's chest as she whispered that he was her new dream. But the magic of the sun was not just in her hair, it was in her heart. A single glowing tear fell from her eye, carrying the last spark of the sun's power to heal him. The lost princess had finally come home. The kingdom celebrated for days, but the greatest joy was found in the quiet reunion of a family once broken. Rapunzel embraced her parents, the king and queen, under the warm glow of 1,000 lanterns. She was no longer a girl in a tower, but a girl who had found her way back to the light.